my name's Jessica and I am the Organized Mama. I help families just like you with organizing tips, tricks, and tutorials. Well, it's the new year, and with the new year comes everybody's need to declutter, to organize, to just set the year off on the right foot. But what usually happens, especially for my clients, is that they come to a point and they just get stuck and they don't know where to go once they hit that point, so then they stop. So I wanted to help you, guide you through the decluttering process. I have a free printable for you. What I want you to do is go to the description and get this, download it onto your phone or your iPad. Don't print it out. Put it on your phone or your iPad, and then you can look at those questions as you go through and declutter areas of your home. These are questions that I use when I'm working with clients, and I really hope that they inspire you to just kind of like let go of things and really get a good look as to what these items are and like why you're actually holding on to them. I want you to use these questions when you get to a point in your decluttering and you're just kind of like, I don't know what to do with these things. I just am stuck. And I really want you to go and ask yourself these questions to kind of help you sift through, you know, what you want to keep and what you can part ways with. When you get to an item that you're like, I just don't know if this is worth keeping or not, pick it up. Ask yourself, have you used or admired this item in the past year? Like, have I used this candle? No. I mean, it's fine, but it's not like anything special, and it's been sitting in a cabinet. So no, I haven't. Really dig down deep and like ask yourself, if it's been sitting in a drawer or cabinet and like you haven't used it, be honest and no, I haven't. Don't add the, well, but I could. No, you haven't. This is a yes or no question, and I want you to keep it yes or no. The next thing I want you to ask is, can you replace this item for like less than $20? Because in reality, if you actually need it, even though it's out of your house, it's under $20. So if you had to, you could buy it again. This is huge when it comes to craft supplies. I have worked with a ton of crafters, and sometimes they like to hold on to bits and pieces of craft supplies in case they need it for later. But in the grand scheme of things, if you can buy it for less than $20, then why not buy it when you actually need it, use it, and then be done with it, rather than hold on to it and just kind of like be a storage wrangler for it until the day you actually need it. What if you don't need that item for the next couple of years? Why are you holding on to something for less than $20 when you might not need it this year or even next year? I see this a lot with new families. You have a lot of things from your pre-baby life, and you hold on to them thinking like, oh, well, we're going to need that one day. Like, we need all of these champagne flutes or all of these kind of like party get-together items that, you know, you purchased for a New Year's party you had, and then you are holding on to all of these kind of like paper products or items that aren't necessarily, you know, expensive, but you're just holding on to it just in case. You also might not have a full set of something, and so instead of holding on to all of those things, why not part ways with them? Because odds are you're not going to use it again. I know this sounds a little like harsh, but I've really found when you get into that mentality like, okay, if I do need to buy it again, then I can. You can donate the item. You can, you know, give it to your kid's school. It doesn't matter if it says like happy birthday or anything on it. As a former teacher, I use those things for everything. Like if we did paint, we had happy birthday plates. You could just dump the paint on them and it doesn't matter. So there are places that you can give your kind of like random items to that will actually use them. So why hold on to them if you can replace it for less than $20? Now, if this, would you purchase this exact same item again? Let's think about it. Would you purchase this If you were at a store and it was on a shelf for X amount of dollars, would you actually purchase this again? This is something I really want you to think about, especially with your clothes and home decor items. This is usually when I see a lot of people get hung up on the clothes. I already spent the money on it. I already have it in my house, so why not just keep it? But like, if you wouldn't purchase it at a store again, then why are you keeping it in your house as the reminder that you already spent money on something, you got your use out of it, and now you can move on. Give it to somebody else who will actually use it. Donate it. There are so many places to donate. I created an entire ebook just for places to donate. So if you're interested in that, go to the description where you're watching this video and you can see my ebook roundup. That you can look and find places, what they take, contact information, all that jazz. The next question I want you to ask is, if this item broke, would you replace it? Now, my husband is very big into cooking, so he likes to get all sorts of new gadgets, but not everything works like it says. So what I want you to do is think about it. If this item is broken, if it doesn't really work, would you buy it again? If not, then part ways with it. Then like, what's the point of holding on to something that you wouldn't get again if you needed to replace it? My thinking behind this is that you are really starting to focus in on keeping items you use, that you like and enjoy, and that actually serve a purpose. Those are the things you want to keep in your house. Everything else really is just junk. It's clutter. It's stuff you don't need. And so I really want you to be mindful about the stuff you are keeping in your home. Another question I want you to ask yourself, are you keeping this out of guilt? Did somebody gift this to you? Did somebody recommend a book to you? Did somebody say, oh, here, I thought you'd like this? And then you're holding on to it just because you feel guilty. If that's the case, you need to part ways with it if you're not using it. Like, there is no point. So there was a podcast I listened to recently that I just thought was so insightful. So her name is Allison and her podcast is called The Allison Show. And on it, she was talking about gifting people items and like specifically like cookies or candles or all that kind of stuff. In the whole discussion she was talking about how for her, giving the gift is what made her happy. So whether that person enjoyed her cookies or the candles she got them or soap or whatever, that she didn't care as long as she gave the gift, because to her that is what was meaningful and that made her happy. That mindset just like, I was like, yes, people love giving stuff. They love feeling helpful, feeling useful. And so when they can gift you something, it makes them happy inside. And then you, as the receiver of the gift, need to remove that sentiment and just know they did what was right for them and they were happy about that. So if you don't like that item, you can part with it. You don't need to hold on to it. You need to lose the obligation to hold on to something just because somebody gave it to you. Now, there are some exceptions on some of these things, like, a sweater from a mother-in-law that might be kind of, nitpicky, or, maybe you have an aunt who is like, oh, well, that was grandma's china and you need to hold on to it and all those kind of things. So if that's the case and you're kind of like, okay, that goes into another question, which is this sentimental? So just because it is sentimental to somebody else does not mean it is sentimental to you. So if you're holding on to something out of obligation for sentiment, you need to take a step back and think like, why am I feeling obligated to hold on to this? And is there a way to give it some sentiment for my family but not keep everything or keep all of it? A lot of times we recommend taking pictures and creating like a coffee table book with the memories of items and stuff. So like, let's say, an aunt gifted you a platter, right? And like, you don't love it. So maybe you bake some cookies and you put them on the platter and you take a picture, and then you can get rid of the platter. But you can create a book of all of these kind of like sentimental items, and you create like a picture book that turns into a coffee table book of sentimental items that your family can see that you have used, you have enjoyed, but then you aren't holding on to the physical item. I recommend this a lot with china and like grandma's china, because this goes into the sentimental question. Are you holding on to this because of sentiment? If you're holding on to it because it's sentimental to you, are there ways that you can actually use it, display it, showcase it in some other way than holding on to some physical item? For example, for me, I have my grandma's teacups and tea kettle, and like I love them. I have them out on display. But my mom has a good chunk of my grandma's china. Well, I only wanted one teacup and teapot. So the reason why is because I actually have a spot to display them, and to me, I really love it. I'm displaying it. I see it every day. It's in our kitchen, and I know that those are my grandma's. But I'm not holding on to the entire set. So what I want you to do is really think about how you are holding on to items because of sentiment, and how you can repurpose those so that it makes it more meaningful to you and you're actually seeing and displaying it every day, or it's in a spot that you can see frequently. Another question you have to ask is, do you want to handle this item again? Okay, so we're gonna put it in storage, and then in like a year I'm gonna come back to it, and now I have to re-handle it again. I need to see it again. I need to figure out what to do with it again. If that just, you're like, I just don't know, I don't think I'm gonna keep this, then get rid of it. You don't need to. If you're ready to part with something, you will know it. You gotta listen to your inner voice. That inner voice is the voice inside that's like in your gut that's just like, no, you're done. But your head is saying, but what if we need it for this? And what about this? Stop listening to your head when it comes to decluttering and start listening to your gut. Because sometimes your head can go in the complete opposite direction and say, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out, throw it out. How many of you have been there? Because I know I have. When you just are so overwhelmed with all this stuff, you just want to get rid of everything. Well, that's your head talking, that's not your gut. Your gut will be the one that's like, go through that box and make sure there's nothing important in it, right? But your head's like, get rid of it, I don't want to look at it anymore. So I really want you to listen to your gut when it comes to decluttering. You are going through this entire transformation. You are decluttering, you are getting rid of stuff in your house to make it more streamlined, to make it feel more you, to make it more homey. Do you want to take this item into what is now your favorite room, area, location of your home? If you're still unsure, then I really want you just to sit and listen. This is kind of where we go a little, okay, I gotta stop and I gotta think about it. And I really want you to listen to your inner voice, that gut feeling that you just know, I'm not gonna use it, I am gonna use it, I'm holding on to it out of sentiment, and really try and get yourself in that mindset to know that letting go is okay. Now, this entire list of questions is available for free to you. It is in the description. Simply click the link where it says guided decluttering questions, and you can get it. And I want you to download it to your phone or your iPad. Don't print it off because you're just gonna create paper clutter. I want you to download it. You can download it, it's already a PDF, so you can just open it in iBooks, and then you have it in online form, and you don't have any paper clutter. If you love this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. New videos every week.